This is a solve session for some of the archived streams puzzles. I'm going to start from where I left off at number 16. If you want to play some of these yourself or any of the other games, you can at notepadgames.com or download the app on the App Store. Just going to get started with a free cell. That's the only one that's going to be able to take that spot and that spot. The green's going to have to come up, and the yellow will have to connect around. This red, I think, has to be the one to loop all the way around. The green will come up in here. The orange will wrap around this blue or the light blue, leaving that little alleyway. That was puzzle number 16. Moving on to 17. Similar shaped puzzle. Connect this blue down here. This orange has to escape there. It's its only path out. Same with the yellow up here, the green up there. The red, that may not actually be the move for the red. I think the red is going to wrap around, leaving again this pathway for the blue. Nice and quick puzzles there. Just getting a little mental warm up. Moving on to number 18 of the 2025 year. Let's see, the orange has to come this way, which means the red has to escape like that. These two cells are going to have to be the red or the yellow because anything else that comes in there would form this touching back on itself, and that is not a valid path for a solution. For those of you who may not have seen this game before as well, while this may connect all of our streams, if you don't, that's not even a valid. You can connect things, maybe something like that. Oh, that is actually going to be close to the solution. But you see how these two spaces are left blank. The puzzle isn't actually complete until the entire grid is filled in. So this becomes a non-valid solution. You have to make sure that every space is filled without a stream touching back on itself. Let me just go back and bring it back into a state where I can work with. So I'm wondering about something like this, how this is going to get taken. If we move the red out like that, this could happen, but that makes these two cells a mess to try and grab. I think they would actually become impossible. So we could do something like that, which would leave the green to escape through here, which seems reasonable. Everything has a way out. It doesn't look like we're trapping anything. We could snake everything up and around. This would connect, that would connect, and now we just have to make sure that everything fits in here. And that is going to be the solution for, I think that was streams number 18. Let's move on to number 19. I think a little larger puzzle here, a lot of clumping in the stars over on the left-hand side. The green could be the one that comes down there. It could also be this blue. But I think if it's this blue, it may cause a bit of a mess with the purple. So I'm going to wait on that. This cell has to be this blue. Nothing else is going to be able to take that, which suggests it might wrap all the way around to connect like that, with the red coming here. The green could go this way, but that totally traps this yellow and purple in. So the purple is going to come out, the yellow is going to come out. Purple only has one option to go there, which I'm thinking it's going to go up one more, but I'm going to wait. The yellow will then come and connect here. This green has to escape now downwards, which means it's likely, I think, the only thing that's going to take that spot. The purple will come down, the blue will come down, the green still needs an exit, and we can just kind of move these around. They're all going to take up these alleyways and kind of this Mario Kart-like racing track with each other. There we go. That was the solution. Moving on to Puzzle number 21, I might have already done number 20 in the past, which is why it's being skipped right there. Small puzzle, nice and easy. Just connect all of the stars. Moving on to 22. Again, a smaller sized puzzle, although that is not a valid solution. Let's wrap that around to bring the yellow across in the middle there. Puzzles will grow throughout the week, getting to the largest of the puzzles, I believe, on Sunday. So that's why when you go through the archived puzzles, you'll have different sizes as you step through them. Let's see, I've trapped this yellow, which is not going to be good. So maybe the yellow comes out there, the green will wrap around, the orange will come and wrap all the way around, leaving this one cell for the red to take. That was a nice puzzle. I liked how that one played out. Number 24. Let's see, to wrap all the way around, the blue could go that way. The green could take this one cell in the center of all these. The light blue comes out, the red comes down, the yellow goes up, the orange goes up, the purple comes through, leaving the outside open for the other cyan. That was number 24. Go on to 25. Oh, very few stars. This is a better puzzle to showcase that while you've connected all of the stars, you haven't used up the grid, so this is not considered a solution. So in order to complete the puzzles, you have to actually cover every space, and you can't just fill it in because this is not a valid stream. Let's think. We have this cell up here. It can't be the red. So something has to wrap around like that. As a matter of fact, all of the corners, we're going to have some color that has to wrap like that. So if we start thinking about that, the purple can't take this corner. We might just have to draw one and see kind of what shape we make here, because something like that would allow the red to come out and maybe all the way around. This up here is not possible with this current setup. So that doesn't feel right. So I'm going to think about this again. I'm thinking up here. I don't think the blue can go this way. I guess it could go one step because the red could come around it, and then the blue could come down and go wherever it's trying to go, but that also would cut off a lot of other things because the red wouldn't be able to wrap around here. The blue wouldn't have an escape. So that does not seem like a viable path immediately. This could wrap around the bottom, come something like that, but with this cell becomes inaccessible. So that also is not plausible. It's possible it could come something like here. Again, though, this is leaving too much open space right there. So that also doesn't seem like a path to an answer. So there must be something that you can identify which color is going to wrap around here. It seems like a good place to start. And so if a color wraps around here, this is going to have to escape out. So this is our first, I think, move we know is a guarantee. This red going out to the left. The blue could still go down or left. If something wrapped around here, it's possible it came up from the center. But again, another color has to wrap around here. And it can only be one. So I think this, by that logic, this has to go left one. And I think then it means it has to go down, which means it has to go down again, because I'm just going to use purple as another example. I think a color is going to have to come through here. And for something to come through there, this blue is going to be the only one that can actually take these cells. So it's going to come down, and it's, again, going to have to come down at least one more. Whereas this blue can now branch right or left, or down. If it kept going down, right, it could wrap all the way around. But if it wraps all the way around, it's going to cut off whatever is outside of it. If the blue came all the way down here, this wouldn't be able to connect to anything. So I don't think the blue wraps all the way around, which means whatever this color is likely is wrapping around, which also means I think the purple is the only one that's going to be able to take this cell. So if what I've just logicked, I think I'm going to erase these because it's going to connect. I think I'll use yellow as my example here. It's possible that's going to be yellow in the end. But I think the purple has to go left. And then, like I said, this is going to wrap all the way around. So that means the purple would have to go like there and there. The blue would have to come out. Again, I think this is doing like a crazy full wrap. We'll figure out exactly where it connects. So, but if that's what we have so far, the purple will have to step over one, and same with the blue. So what would take this cell? How do we get there? Would it have to connect something up like that? And then again, we have it then connect like that. That's an interesting. I like the pattern that that's making. Seems like this might lead us somewhere. So now we have a couple options. Again, if we have the purple, wrap around like that, we get left with some sort of impossibility here. So that doesn't seem likely. The red could do almost a swirl, allowing the purple to connect in. That seems very plausible. Is there something symmetrical I can do here? Like a reverse. Ooh, this is looking like that is the solution. That was a great puzzle, a very fun solve to get to that shape with only four different colors. So yeah, let's see how we did. We did that in 6 minutes and 12 seconds. I think that's a good puzzle to end on. Again, if you want to play some more yourself or try any of the other games, hop on over to notepadgames.com and enjoy.